That's what everybody's gonna notice.
Yeah.
They're just gonna be like, oh, what's with
I
the
mean, that's what
cheap
they're pointing out in Game of Thrones, all the fuck ups. It's like the same thing we got going on here.
Yeah, you guys are basically Game of Thrones.
Yeah. So when in Niantic Starbucks and I get a coffee whenever I go anywhere, and there's a blonde sitting in the corner.
What? A good looking.
A good looking blonde. A good looking blonde sitting in the corner. And I was kind of looking at her, and then she's looking back at me, and like, she keeps looking back at me. I'm like, oh man, she caught me looking at her. This is awkward. So I get my coffee, and she's sitting right next to where, you know, you put your cream and stuff in. And she pops up when I get over there. I'm like, oh my god, what the hell is she gonna say to me? She's like, hey, I don't want to seem like a creeper, but I follow you on Facebook. You guys are hilarious. We were going on and on about us, but so I tried to figure out who she was. She's like, well, I know Jeff. Jeff, I knew him back when he was going to college. He was actually good friends with my cousin, yeah, Mitchell.
Somewhere.
Mitchell's her, yeah. And I think we actually kind of dated for a little while. I think it was dating. I always had a huge crush on him. So this guy parlays it into, I tell him the name. Of course, he sends her a text. Hey, what's going on? You know,
Married, man. We're just going to lunch for fun.
Just
take
going
that
to-
out. Dude.
Take that out.
Get that out of it.
Why are you putting your chocolate milk on the floor?
I don't know. Take that out. Take that out.
Fuck. But yeah, she said like you're like semi-famous or something like that. I was like, I am. I barely fit out of the fucking Starbucks store.
Think of this moment.
But then they ruined it with I had a crush on Jeff, and then Jeff parlays a date out of it.
I don't have a date, dude. Stop saying it.
Whatever.
You finally get recognized.
Yeah.
It's my, girlfriend.
Because of you?
You can leave your glass on the table.
You make me nervous with that glass.
It's weird with the chocolate. I'll be done in a minute.
Okay.
It's so funny. So you got recognized.
I recognized in Niantic. And we were out, whatever you're doing is working because and then the night before I went to Chuck's Steakhouse right up the road from me. And the girl I went to high school with came over and she could just be being nice, but she was like, man, I watch all your stuff on Facebook, you guys are hilarious. Yeah.
But you thought we weren't getting the views.
Yeah, I don't, and the people that are telling me they're seeing it, I don't see them like liking it or anything, or, so I don't know how that all works.
We gotta ask them next time why they're not liking and sharing.
Maybe people just don't. I don't know, like, is there etiquette on Facebook? I don't know Facebook etiquette.
Well, all I can say is both you fuckers really set me up.
That was good. That last video was good.
That was a
perfect.
complete setup.
The rooftop?
The
whole
Lululemon
thing.
shit, he said.
Before I
that
even
was-
got up there, you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
had this whole thing planned.
That Lululemon thing, that was he threw me a softball. That was terrible.
Yeah, but the whole thing before I got there, you knew I wasn't getting there until 8:15 because I had to drop my
but
dog
then you
off.
said, I was like, I was here at 6:30. And when you said, I was at the gym. Sounded like such a dude. It's great. Lululemon.
I'm getting hammered.
Yeah, of course.
This
You
isn't how it's supposed to be.
are
It
getting
wasn't supposed to
zero sympathy from me. I'm gonna
It
tell you
wasn't
that right
supposed to feel
now.
like this. It's supposed to be more. I'm not hammered. I'm getting hammered by my nephew.
Yeah.
What do you actually
You
do?
thought they respected
Uncle
you,
Jeff,
too.
what do you actually do?
Well, what do you actually do?
I do a lot of stuff.
It's tough to
Way to clear it
It's
up.
tough to quantify it. Do a lot.
I deal with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get shirts made. I take care of all our shirts. I take care of all our marketing. I take care of all our accounting.
You do.
Approve all the
Which we now
invoices. I do all the accounting.
outsource to an accounting
I still have to approve all
Just
code all
kidding.
of them. I got us our business coach. I'm a forward thinker. I'm looking at our
He is.
business. And I've
You're out on the front lines. I always said that.
This.
You're on the front lines.
I got us
You're the face of the company.
nominated for Big 50.
Yeah.
And I also got us in the
I always said you do all the
550.
stuff I would never do that pushes us
I
forward.
manage our website.
Yeah.
And there's tons more.
You look
I
over
deal with
Danny's
pricing.
shoulder. Now he's estimating.
I'm going to be estimating now. I deal with pricing. I deal with customer relations. I take customers
Billing?
to
Billing?
all the projects. I do all the design work. I do all the billing. So fuck both of you. What I really wanted to say today, though, is I'm just so excited that we got to bring Matt in. I mean, thanks for coming into the office. I know you're out working in the field all the time.
Yeah.
Sweating and doing all the hard work.
They're getting dirty.
Thanks for coming in the office with us clean, air-conditioned people today.
Yeah. You got chocolate on your teeth. There you go.
chocolate on my teeth.
I love being in the office. I almost fell asleep here today.
See? It's not so bad, is it?
Exactly. Anyway.
Today we want to talk about scheduling. Scheduling seems to come up a lot with people. There's that see Money Pit, like, oh yeah, we'll be done in 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
And then it drags
And then
on.
it drags on for months. So let's talk about the process of scheduling a job.
We actually just went through this. Because I'm out in the field and we always talk about Jeff's a really organized one. I'm the scatterbrain. I'll have 15 different things and I know what's going on, but a lot of times I don't relay that to everyone. So he's in the office and he doesn't know where certain jobs are at and that. So to keep him in line with what's going on out in the field, we meet Monday mornings and set up a calendar for the month. And it obviously shifts and moves constantly, but at least it gives you a good outline of where jobs are at and it keeps everybody in the loop.
I think you're more asking about like customer scheduling, projects stuff. So how do we set up our schedules based on our project? I mean, we generally know. I think, we know what a bathroom's gonna be for timing, depending on how much demo and all that stuff. We know what a kitchen or an addition's gonna cost. So we generally will. I mean, we always err on the side of a little bit of cautious. We build a couple extra weeks in there when we first tell people, hey, it's gonna take a month or 2 months or 3 months, 4 months. But we generally stick to that. We don't ever go. I don't think we've ever gone over. In terms of the actual specifics, I mean, we kind of we know. I think we know what an actual real project's going to cost. We don't tell people it's going to take 3 weeks, and we know it's going to take a month because it's just not how it works. We don't do it that way.
Yeah, we don't set unrealistic expectations.
So what's the benefit in setting unrealistic expectations for contractors that do? Does it help them get jobs?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I think, and it's no different if when people say they're going to be available. When someone says, "I can start," if you're pricing a job with someone against someone, and they say, "I can start next Tuesday," and we're saying we're out a month because we're looking at our schedule and we're forecasting out how far we are out, and someone says, "I can show up on a Tuesday," but they don't show up on Tuesday because they really can't be there on Tuesday, but they get that job because they can start soon. Or we're not going to maybe get that job because we're being honest and saying, hey, we're not going to be able to get to you until August 8th. This is the day we'll be there. This person's saying, yeah, I'll be there next Tuesday, and then they don't show up for a week because that's how they get jobs. No different than the other discussion we had when we were talking about projects. Should I be talking to the camera? Or
No, that's fine. It doesn't matter.
You're good.
Because you always do a good job of looking at the camera.
I do? I don't think you're supposed to look at the camera.
You did on the interview at the Sizzler. You were looking
What's
at the
Sizzler?
camera a lot.
Oh, the Sizzler?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's because we were...
Sizzler.
Isn't that what it's called?
That's a restaurant.
Yeah, I thought this guy's the one that started with the Sizzler, and I was always
that's the name of it.
It's called a sizzle.
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 I like the
Alright, I like the
Sizzler.
Sizzler better too, actually. It's still queer.
Take that out. we got the gay chamber coming next week.
I know.
Why did you make it gay? Queer just means off.
See, but you said we weren't talking about scheduling, but I think that's important. That front end, I think that's kind of it's a question for both parts of our business. How we keep our schedule in line in order to keep jobs running smoothly and hitting our timetable with
That's a good.
the customer.
Start over.
And that's very important. That front end where we establish, we
How
meet,
far
we meet with the
technically
customer and we set their expectations where they, hey, this bathroom's going to be 3 weeks, and what we do a good job is we explain them why, because a lot of people are like 3 weeks, they think you're in and out.
First thing people do.
3 weeks. What am I going to?
4 weeks.
Well, if someone tells you they're doing a week, they're lying, or your tiles are going to start moving, your drywall's not going to be done properly, And I like to tell people, when I say 4 weeks, 3-4 weeks, it's not 40-hour weeks some weeks, but we go into the drywall, we're in there for 2 hours in the bathroom, but nothing else can go on that day, so you have your house back for the rest of the day, we're only in there for 2 hours. And then you lay it out like that, we got a demo, we got a frame, we got our mechanicals in there, we got drywall, we got tile, we got this, we got that, and then people are like, oh yeah, shit, I didn't think of all those things. So it's easy to, it's easy to, what's the fucking word I'm looking God. It's easy to talk
This
them.
thing is gold.
It's easy
The problem is we're gonna wear this hinge out.
Yeah, it's easy to talk them off the ledge, or if someone else came in and said it's gonna be 2 weeks, and then we come in later and say 4 weeks. I'm like, well, the guy said 2 weeks. Well, the guy's lying.
He's right on point with the drywall piece of it. Literally, when we tell people how long typically the process of what a drywall really takes, when you explain that, and you got to come in, you got to install, you put one coat on, they got to come back the next day,
Yeah.
put another coat, the next day put a third coat, next day sand. That's
a week.
That's a week.
Yeah.
So when you have a bathroom project, a week of it's drywall. Then think about all the other stuff. Same with templating. Templating kitchens. They come out in template. Our granite company's great, timeless. They're there in a week, but that kitchen can't go any further until for a week. So there's a lot of that stuff, and that's why we're honest and upfront. And people, even we did a basement this winter, and so we told people someone it was 3.5 to 4 months, and they're like,
You were shocked by that.
"We gotta build a house in that." I know, but it's the same components, and it's the winter,
Yeah.
and we got holidays, so we look at all those items.
Just vacations. You got those things.
Of course.
Yeah.
So back to Matt's point, which is a great point. I didn't mean to cut you off on that. Is that we do a good job meeting weekly and forecasting out our projects. You know how far out we're going to be. So when we get a call, we go out and look at a job, and they want us to go forward. We can look at our calendar and say, "All right, we're going to slot you in here. This is where we're going to be. You're going to be in August 8th. Like we just got another bathroom. We're literally August 11th starting.
Yeah.
So that gives us a proper time to hit that job, and we know that bathroom will be able to take up that slot. And so I think that's a big key to it. Yeah, giving people the proper date to when we're going to start is really crucial. So that was a really good point on his.
And it's all right
Surprising on a
when you got one job going on. You know that might not be so important, but when you got 2 different project managers, it's 5 different jobs going on at once. It's good to lay them all out so that the whole team can see them, and have a good outline of what's going on. What the fuck? I'm blacking out. I don't know.
Can you want to?
God, I feel like I had a good train of thought going on. I get to the point. I'm like, just shut up, stop talking. God.
But we're also, I think we're really good at scheduling, like for our stuff, and not bragging on TruNORTH, but we're on the point. And I probably
No, you're good at
pilot
putting
people
that.
a little too tight, but I think we're pretty good on staying on point. We don't miss too many things, and there's a lot of things we do ourselves, so I think that helps.
What do you mean?
Like we frame,
Do our demo.
We do our own demo.
Hang our own drywall. We'll insulate. We'll do our own painting. We'll do mostly everything but mechanical work. We don't do electrical or plumbing and that sort of thing. But for the most part, trim, everything else.
Yeah, so it's easier to control when you do everything your own self. You're not relying on another contractor that might be on another job for say to
that'll hold you
set
up.
But we also, I'm someone that, in terms of scheduling, when I know I'm going to need someone out on a project, I'm literally in their ear 2.5 weeks out, sometimes 3 weeks out, saying, "Hey, I'm probably going to need you this week. This is the week I'm going to need you." And so we get in our guys' heads early that we're going to need you on that week. So if it slides a day or two, they know we need them that week. So I think we do a good job of that.
And it's good having a guy in the office to do that, to forecast out,
Well,
to line those subs up. That's one of the things that Jeff does for TruNORTH.
put that out.
Yeah, I was giving you a little press.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out.
So, what are other? You said there are certain red. You didn't say it, but I'm saying it. There are certain red flags that a homeowner can look for when they're getting a price and a schedule for their renovation or remodel or whatever. What are some of those when looking at a contractor?
Well, I think when
What you had said before, if a contractor says they can be there tomorrow, ready to start, that should be a red flag right away. I mean, obviously, they're not real busy if they can be there tomorrow, for one, and it's tough to mobilize and be ready to start a job within a couple days, And if you are going to start a job within a couple days, especially a bathroom or kitchen or jobs of that nature, you're not ready to start that job. You haven't ordered anything, you haven't picked anything out. So just because a contractor's eager to start, you got to pump the brakes a little bit because you want to have all those ducks in a row. So you're not sitting and waiting for cabinets. So they rip your whole kitchen apart, but you're waiting 5 weeks for cabinets. Well, what good are you to be 5 weeks ahead of the game when you got to sit for 5 weeks waiting for cabinets?
We don't start bathroom projects until everything is ordered and we know they're coming in, because those bathrooms will go fast. You know, we're not going to do that. And what we do a little differently than most is we take our clients to each one of those appointments. I think we've talked about that in the past. We pick them, we bring them to pick out their tubs and all that stuff. So that's a process alone. But sometimes tubs are 4 to 5 weeks out. So we won't start a project until I know we're close. We're going to be in that that project timeline, that tub will be there before we even need it.
So if you're a homeowner, you should ask when you get a price in a scope of work and a budget from a contractor, ask them to put a schedule together for you and show how the schedule flows, and you should be able to analyze that and say, oh, this makes sense, you know.
We want to tell people to do that? Because we don't do that.
Where you just ask them. But I just thought of that on the fly. I'm like, if I was a homeowner, I'd want to know how is this, could you lay out for me how this is going to go? Especially a kitchen or
Now
bathroom.
you're creating more work for me.
You gotta do something.
I mean, you guys did that for me.
Yeah.
We did?
I feel like we basically do that. We outline that in the first meeting with the customer.
We do.
I just did it. I said, oh, you gotta draw, you know, we do it. And we don't put it on paper. And you do put it on paper. What is builder trend that we use?
We don't use that feature often.
You should be.
Because it's a hard feature to
It
use.
is?
Yeah, our schedules move.
Expect us to learn that.
Think about holidays and think about
I know.
snowstorms.
I know how the schedule moves.
I mean, you're
I'm arguing with that all the time.
this guy. Talk about taking vacations. Last
Yeah.
Friday and this Friday.
I'm a family
4th of
man,
July.
Jeffrey. Jeff, my grandmother's turning 85.
Is that the,
Well, I'm gonna tell
the crazy
I'm,
one?
I'm gonna tell Cam Gam that I'm not gonna be there.
You see that movie? Horrible Boston? Is that the one that wears all the
She got the tattoos all
Jude,
over.
the beads and stuff? The juju
What?
beads?
Juju beads. Yeah, she got all the tattoos. Yeah. Grandma Joan.
I've never met her yet.
You haven't met Grandma Joan?
No, she's the one that wanted to date my uncle.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She told you that. You met her.
No, on the phone.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
Uncle Butchie.
Yeah, we're getting detracted.
Twisted.
Start over.
Start over. You shot down my. I think though, if a customer hears at least in their
Yeah.
the timeline.
Ask
from
the timeline. I think that's a great
ask
idea.
the time. Ask your contractor the timeline. And then, you know, you kind of get the competence of your contractor to
Right.
see if
They
it
understand
flows
the
properly,
steps.
if they understand the process.
Well, and I think, to be honest with you, I think some of the things that are hard for us to do is you go up against these HGTV shows and they're doing full house renovations or bathrooms
In a weekend.
In a weekend, it's just not feasible. So I think people see these shows and they're like, oh, you can do that in 4 weeks.
Yeah,
No,
we live in a world.
You're not doing that in 4 weeks.
You go online, you order something from Amazon, it's there in 2 days, you know?
It's not the real
gratification.
world. Yeah, it's not that's not how it works. So I don't think those do us any favor.
Why is it that on the HGTV show, I mean, besides I know because of the editing part that they can just edit it, but why do they make it seem like it's so cut and dry?
No, it's clean for TV, I'm sure, right? I think that's...
Yeah, but why not? I mean, you could easily say a week later, like why do they say they can remodel an entire house in
That's part of
a week?
that's part of the drama, I think, too. Like, there's always like a race to get it done before
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
timeline. I think that's all it is.
Yeah, they got to be in by this time, and it's part
Yeah.
of it. I mean, you're the director.
Goddamn, why are we
It's part of
telling you? You're
process.
the TV guy.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure it out from your perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, you bring it up a lot that HGTV does this, it's like the meme we posted the other day.
Yeah. I got a budget of...
I work part-time at the library.
yeah,
My
I'm a dog
husband
walker.
raises
Yeah.
salamanders, and
That was a good one.
which is 1.4 million.
I mean, I think that those shows are great because people can see stuff and get ideas and stuff, but I think those shows aren't realistic.
Yeah, and I'd like to see a lot of those houses they complete so quickly, how they hold up.
I like to see the quality of them.
Yeah, it's tough. On TV, a lot of stuff looks good. You know, anyway. Wow. So, I'm sensitive about that, Jeffrey.
Oh, I was saying you look at that.
That was
Even the girl at the coffee shop.
mocking me.
That was not mocking. That was generally
even
sweet.
Even things look good on TV.
That was a sweet statement. That was very genuine. That was nice.
Oh my god. So we're talking about scheduling.
Well, yeah.
That's really not my department.
Well, part of the scheduling we were talking about was the idea that HGTV says they can do something in a week, and then you were saying, I'd like to see the quality
Yeah.
hold up.
Yeah, well, and then you think about the permitting process alone, in most towns take 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So, you know, for people to go through the, and that's the other thing, is when you have to get inspections, you know,
Yeah, you're at the whim of the town.
you're
Or the mercy
town,
of the town.
and some of these towns, you're a week to week and a half out to get an inspection. So if you don't plan that right, your project's number one to get it delayed. So that's never shown on any of those shows. They don't show inspectors coming in and making you change something that delays your project or any of that stuff. They don't show the permitting processes. They don't show the getting the CO at the end, the final inspections. They don't show any of that stuff. So
walk me through a little bit of that stuff. Those are
The permitting and that.
those are steps that, again, we don't see anything about, that homeowners don't think about.
Yeah.
So when we get an addition project or a bathroom or even a deck, we have to draw up a set of plans. And
Depending on the size,
we do all our deck stuff in house. But if it's an addition or a bathroom, we have to go outside of what we feel comfortable doing. We have to bring in an architect, and it could be a 3 to 4 week process of getting plans drawn. And then from there, you have to take those plans. You got to go to the town, submit the plans, go through the whole process of submitting your licensing, your insurance. On some towns, you have to go call before you digs for doing decks.
Yep.
And that process,
Foundations.
and they'll tell you right when you go there, that process could take. I think they even some
They
of
have
them
30. They have by law. They have 30 days.
30
I'm sure
days.
Somehow can get more if need be, but typically they'll turn around in a couple weeks.
Yeah, sometimes it's faster, sometimes it's slower, but they say right off the bat it could take anywhere up to 4 weeks. So now you're already 2 months into a project and you haven't even gotten started. And then what's nice is you can speed that process up a little bit by going and picking out all the stuff and getting all that stuff.
So you're doing stuff in the
but once you get the
background.
permit, you got to get through the rough stage and you have to get inspections. You have to get framing inspections, insulation inspections. You have to get electrical, plumbing, HVAC inspections.
So we try to forecast that out too, so you can get a call in a week before. For instance, our foundation guy, he'll call and schedule inspections for every day the week he's doing his foundation, because he needs to inspect the hole, inspect the footing, inspect the walls, inspect after they're poured. And he's not sure where he's going to be. In that process, he's got an idea where he'll be, but it will move with the weather. So he'll just set up appointments for inspections every day that week, and then cancel them as needed. So it's good to be out in front of all that stuff.
Another one too is think about, we have to get all those rough inspections. Typically, they're all done at one time. You have to then get, after those inspections, you then have to get it insulated, and then you have to have the inspector back to look at the insulation. So that alone could cost you 3 or 4 days, depending on how far out the town. Some of the towns, when we were doing the deck out in Glastonbury, that they were out a week and a half, 2 weeks for inspections. That's a part of it. So after that, you go through all those rough inspections, and at the end of the project, you have to have the inspector back to do what they call COs.
Final inspection.
A final inspection, and that's a simple process at that point. The rough inspections are the ones where all the potential issues are caught, but it's still another step in the process. And if it's commercial, you have to have a fire marshal walk through, and so that changes. It's another step besides the building inspector. You have to have a fire marshal walk through and approve it. So, and some things, like for instance, like decks. You not only have, besides the call before you dig, you have to, if they're on septic or well, you have to go through the zoning process. So that's a whole nother
It's got to go to
department that has to approve it, and so that's what delays the timing and everything. So that's never shown on any of those TV shows.
No, I'm sure they're done. I assume they're out in front of it, but
How are they doing on that?
yeah, they must.
They're
They
doing
have,
that
their
fast.
budgets are a little bit bigger than ours, I assume. So I'm sure they have a little bit of pull.
But
But yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah.
Anything else?
No. Scheduling, basically, we got to be out in front of it, doing what we do on Monday mornings, setting up our schedule, and that way we can relay to our customers how long these jobs are going to take.
yeah, because we're almost 2 months booking now.
Yeah.
You're on our board. We got other ones that are sitting there waiting when we're gonna do them.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I brought that process into place. There's a lot of things that people question whether I do shit around here. And
He's got
I
processes.
set that process up,
He did. He did.
and he fights it every week we go here. But
Yeah. I'm tired.
Wearing me down.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Monday morning meeting, sure, that sounds good.
Can't even tell you until you
I'll be there.
yourself.
I'll be there. I'll be there. Yeah.
But I think back to scheduling though, if you're a good, I think that's another sign of a good contractor, don't you? That
No, absolutely.
if you're a good contractor, generally you're scheduling pretty good, because you want to get in and out of those jobs too. You know what I mean? It's not like you want to stay on a job for 6 months. So I think it's another aspect of the quality of the contractor is if they're good at the scheduling piece of it.
That's a giant piece of it.
And it's less aggravation, it's a less aggravation for the homeowner, you're there less, it's a huge part of it.
Yeah. People don't want you, they might like you for a little while, but after you're, they want you out of their house.
Well, when you're sniffing their underwear, that's never good.
Yeah, that's never good. It was one time, Jeff. Gotta keep bringing that up.
You might want to explain that.
It wasn't really one time, I'm just kidding.
It's every
You suck one dick. Don't say that. I'm like if there's people out there. Like it's an audience. I am Truman.
you know that whole thing, by the way?
Which one?
We had this whole
Me, Zach, and
Ryan.
Ryan were working one day and we were talking about how I'm like the boss of the company, but like I'm just a simple regular guy, and it's really like a made up thing. I'm not. I'm just like an idiot that I'm like the Truman Show. Let's make him the boss. The guys are in the background, like there's camera crew following me
So
around.
a couple of times we had him at, marking the board on the schedule.
Yeah, like, look.
Everyone in the background's like, wow, look, we got him to draw on the board.
He did it. Let's give like when I got the
So
watch.
proud.
When I got the watch for like they're like, all right, let's because I drive around like a maniac, So like, let's see what else we can do to distract him while he's driving for good television. Get him an iWatch. Be checking that, making phone calls, listening to his voicemail.
So for the longest time, every time he would do something, we would always joke
Yeah.
like, oh, congratulations, he did it.
He did it. Yeah, Matt, what do you want me to do next? Like Ryan's a paid actor.